Donald Trump is the resilience embodied in this song, and I'm joined by former Senator Jim Talent. I am amazed that he can get shot in the head, he can get impeached twice, he can get weaponized law targeted on him, and he wins a shattering. Jim Talent, what is your reaction to this epical moment in American politics?
Yeah, I thought about it also on a personal level. I mean, the energy you mentioned it, resilience, the courage, and the confidence that President Trump displayed, not just through the campaign, but over the course of the last 4 years, really is remarkable. I mean, he has enormous strengths as a candidate and a leader. He also has weaknesses, as we all do, but he has enormous strengths. And his opponents have consistently underestimated him because they believe their own propaganda about him. And that's always a mistake in politics, in war, or in life.
Now, Senator, I have a very important question. How fast and how far, assuming that the House majority holds, can the budget reconciliation process take the Republic?
I think pretty fast. I heard your interview with Noah, and it was one of the rare occasions when I think I disagree with them. And I went through the list in my mind of what they need to do. It's not going to be easy, but most of it is relatively simple. I mean, I think Trump will reimpose the policies he had on the border. I think he's going to be able to get the money for the wall now. I mean, the Democrats can hardly oppose it since Harris said they were in favor of it. I think he'll get the border secure. I think they'll begin deporting, and they're going to start with the dangerous criminal elements, which is where they should start. The gangs, the drug traffickers, the sex traffickers, the Chinese agents, all those people. They have a reconciliation bill to pass, but I know for a fact that they've been working on that in the Ways and Means Committee in the House for 2 years. There'll be some discrete issues within the Republican caucus, like over the SALT deduction. Trump is immediately going to begin hacking away at regulations. And you remember the Small Business Regulatory Relief and Fairness Act, which permits Congress, without a filibuster, to overturn regulations that are, I believe, it's 60 business days
180
or
days.
less old. So
180 days.
I believe.
Yeah.
Is it? Yes. You know what? I helped pass that law, and I don't exactly remember it. But the point is that things that Biden does going out the door, they're going to be able to reverse if they control the House. And they did that at the beginning of the last Trump administration. You'll see foreign policy, obviously, I think, change pretty quickly in the Middle East. I think Trump's going to get to work on Ukraine. So, yeah, there are going to be difficulties and there'll be squabbles within the Republican conference. But I expect a lot to happen. I don't think we should expect them to get it all done in 100 days. But I think by the August recess, you're going to see a lot of this done or well advanced.
We can't take that long. Yeah, I really don't think we can take that long. People's time frames are such in the modern, they've got to pass something big right away, and it can't be spending. Senator, let me ask you a little bit about the very small thing. We are coming up on our 250th birthday. I hope Donald Trump's first executive order is to stand up the commission to celebrate that. He also gets to preside over the Olympics in LA in 2028, which is kind of fun. But do you think he'll pay attention to small symbolic things like the 250th birthday?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think he's going to have, this is an advantage we're going to have because he's had a long time to think about how he can improve the internal workings of his administration. And so I think important items like that, they're important from a symbolic purpose. I think they're going to pick that up. And I think it's an outstanding operation or an outstanding task that can be used to try and draw the country together. So look, it's not necessarily what he's going to do in the first hour. But yeah, I mean, and Trump is a good showman. He understands the value of this kind of thing. So yeah,
yes.
And I think it's a great idea.
People remember about Jerry Ford is presiding over the bicentennial, and people need to realize it's going to be a big deal in 2026. Quick last question, Jim. I think the biggest vulnerability to Donald Trump is the Department of Justice. Mike Pompeo may never speak to me again because I said he had to be the attorney general because you got to be tough, you got to be smart, you got to clean house, and you've got to stand up to people who want to use, as happened to Trump in the first term, the DOJ to cripple him. Do you think
Right.
he's going to find an attorney general as smart as Barr, as tough as Pompeo to go over there and do that?
Yeah, I think yes, I have confidence he will, but I agree with you that it's a vitally important task, and it will be a difficult one because, as we have seen and we've talked about in this program and others, we have the DOJ's been politicized, the bureau's been compromised.
Yes.
I was like you, I was very reluctant to to uh, to recognize that. I mean, I resisted it. I didn't want to believe it, but it's true. And so we have to have a Department of Justice and an FBI that follow the law. And to do that, he's going to need a really good attorney general. There's a lot of people out there. I think it needs somebody he needs to have a close working relationship with, but who's recognized by the legal community as a real leader.
Stature and brains. Because, I mean, there are a
Right.
dozen assistant attorney generals. There's the deputy attorney general, associate attorney general. There are U.S. attorneys. The FBI is its own kingdom. Stature and brains for the AG, because that's where the Trojan horse can be in the Department of Justice.